My name is Sherrie Young. I am a realtor and community developer here in Beaumont, Texas. For over 10 years, I've assisted hundreds of families achieve their dream of home ownership through specialized seminars. If you've ever had the desire to own your own home but was unsure of the process, don't worry, we got you covered. Come join me and my team on Saturday, September 8th, 2018 from 9 a.m. to 12 noon at Faith Christian Center Church, 6490 Phelan Boulevard in Beaumont, Texas. So text iOWN18 to 54244 to join us for this informative seminar. That's Saturday, September 8th, 2018.
And I want to thank y'all for allowing me to be here as part of the team. The Credit Coalition, we're a HUD-approved housing counseling agency. We're housed in Houston, but we bring our classes to the greater Beaumont, Port Arthur area, I think where I am today, so sorry. So our class, it's called Fundamentals of Good Credit. It meets the education requirement for the local down payment assistance programs. So if you're interested in using one of the down payment assistance programs from the counties, the cities, the state, as a HUD-approved housing counseling agency, our class meets that education requirement, which is one of the components of the down payment program, one of the requirements. We're not the only agency in town that offers the class, but as a HUD-approved housing counseling agency, we partner with many of the entities in and around the Beaumont area to be their education partner. So I am here today. I was asked to come and talk a little bit about the credit process, and I know you mentioned credit score, but I want to kind of back up some and let y'all just think about this. To have a credit score, you have to have a credit report. You have to have the information in the credit report that the score is built on. So how many of you in here have actually seen a credit report in the last 12 months? An Experian, a TransUnion, or an Equifax report? So I see quite a few hands. How did you get that report? Did you get it through Credit Karma? Did anybody get it through Credit Sesame or Quizzle? Anybody use those? Credit Karma. Okay, Credit Karma and the agencies. There's something that we get with the Credit Karma report that we don't get when we order it directly from the three bureaus. And y'all know what that is? We get a score. The score that you receive through Credit Karma or Quizzles or Credit Sesame is not the same score nor the same scoring model that a lender is going to use when you apply for a mortgage loan. So a lot of folks see that score and they think they're set because that's the score and that's their number, but also realize that the score is only based on that moment in time. So whatever model that you are looking at, just know that model may not be anything relative to the score that your lender is going to want to see. So we back up rather than say, let's look at the score and worry about the score. We say, let's look at the credit report. Let's make sure that everything on that credit report is truly yours. And if there is a problem with the credit report, if there's misinformation on the credit report, you don't have to pay anybody to clean that credit report for you. You can clean it yourself for free. But it all starts with getting that report first. And so I guess I made a PowerPoint of 4 slides, but I guess, oh, there we go. Have you seen your credit and specialty reports? How many of you realize that you can get your credit report for free every 12 months through the federal law? The FACT Act, the Fair and Accurate Credit Transaction Act, allows us to see not only our credit reports, but our specialty consumer reports. So out on the table, I have the form from annualcreditreport.com. You can order those reports. You can get 1, 2, or all 3. They do not affect a credit score because these are considered soft pulls. When you pull your own credit report, it does not impact your credit score. So if you hear people saying, well, you shouldn't go pull that credit report because it's going to hurt your score, just stick along with us and we're going to help you get there. No, when you see your personal report, when you order that personal report through annualcreditreport.com, it is a soft inquiry. It will not hurt your report or will not hurt your score. The credit report itself, it may have misinformation. For those of you that raised your hand and said you've seen at least one of the reports in the last 12 months, was everything on it correct? You know, they say that 1 in 5 people have an error on their credit report. 1 in 5. Now, error could be a name that's incorrect, an address that's incorrect, a credit item that's incorrect. We used to be able to say, as prior to July 1st of last year, prior to July 1st of 2017, we could say we had a public record on it that was incorrect. But as of July 1st of last year, public records are no longer a part of our credit reports with annualcreditreport.com, with Experian or TransUnion or Equifax. They are no longer reported. So how would we see that public record? How would we see if somebody placed a public record on us? Do y'all know what a public record is? Anybody want to share? What's a public record? Not to put you on the spot, but what's the definition of a public record? What would be? A judgment, a lien, somebody sued you. It could be a library fine. It could be lots of different things that can be in the public records. Now, as of July 1, since those public records are no longer there, we're still entitled to look at those records, and that we use LexisNexis full file disclosure. That's a lot of words, I know, but again, outside I have on the table how the forms to order your LexisNexis full file. And I'm just going to read to you some of the things that are the different reports that are included in a LexisNexis full file. You have to excuse me, I have to put my cheaters on, otherwise I won't be able to see this. These are things that are included in that free LexisNexis full file disclosure that we're also entitled to see once every 12 months through the same federal law, the FACT Act. There's a clue report for auto. It summarizes our auto insurance loss history. There's a clue report for property. It summarizes insurance loss history. There's current carrier reports. These are just the name of these different reports. It summarizes historical home and auto coverage information provided by participating insurance companies. InsureView, there's attributes. This provides attributes using public record data used for insurance underwriting and insurance pre-screening. There is a traffic violation search that's included in this LexisNexis full file disclosure. It provides results from public records. It's used to assess applications and renewals of insurance underwriting. Banco's report provides results from national court records regarding bankruptcies, tax liens, judgments. There's a benefits assessment report. These are all included in this LexisNexis full file disclosure that we're allowed to see once every 12 months for free. Provides search results from public records, including property and personal information. Collections decisioning report. Search results from public records. Again, a lot of things on public records here. There's life public records disclosure report. It's used for insurance underwriting. And then there's the risk view report. Provides search results from public records. It is used by lenders to evaluate an applicant's ability and willingness to repay a debt. And that's the whole purpose of these credit reports. When lenders pull your credit report, that's what they're looking for. They're looking at your willingness and your ability to repay a debt by your past history. So many of us, when I said that 1 in 5 had an error on these reports, out of that group, of that 1 in 5, 20% of those folks had an error. They said serious enough, 25% of that group had an error serious enough that it either caused that person to pay higher interest, didn't get the best terms, or an actual no on the loan decision, all because of misinformation. And the person who did the application had no idea they had that misinformation. So with our class, our Fundamentals Good Credit class, we have everyone the homework assignment to order those personal reports. Get those in your hand. Once you get those in your hand, read them, look at them. You have me as the educator in class to walk you through those reports if you want to walk through those with me personally. But we at the Credit Coalition, we're not here to tell you what to do with your money. We're not here to tell you how to clean your credit. We're here to say, here's the information. Now you make the decision on what you need to do, what you want to do to move forward to, help yourself with that credit report. And then we refer you back to the loan officers, the lenders. Because since the Credit Coalition is not loaning you money, that's not our job. We don't loan money. We just help you understand where you are financially and help you get into the process to be able to apply for a loan product. Then it's the lender that's going to have to look at that report to decide what do you need to do to qualify for their particular loan product. No two underwriters, no two banks underwrite the same. They don't have the same criteria, but they all follow federal guidelines. So if you've already talked to a loan officer and they said, well, no, you don't meet our guidelines, or you've talked to another loan officer and said, oh, yes, you do meet our guidelines, it doesn't mean you don't or you do with the third one or the fourth one. We encourage everyone to, I know we have lenders in the room, but we always encourage everyone to talk to multiples. Did you know that when you pull your personal credit report, or when a lender pulls your personal credit report for a mortgage loan, when they do that, does that hurt your credit report? Does that hurt your credit score? When a lender pulls your report, do you know? Yeah, it's a soft inquiry. It's a hard inquiry. It's a hard inquiry when a lender pulls a report. For an automobile, for anything, for going to get your furniture, for appliances, any inquiry. You're at the store and they say you'll get 20% discount today if you sign up for our credit card. Those are hard inquiries. That could impact your credit score that the lender's going to use when they make their decision whether or not to qualify you for a product. Well, did you know that when you apply for a mortgage or an auto loan or a student loan, now I'm going to put this as a disclaimer. If you're planning on buying a home in the next 12 months, we suggest you don't apply for any new credit, none, until you talk to that loan officer. Let that loan officer direct you on what needs to be done in order to qualify for their product. But now I go back to when you are shopping for a mortgage loan, an auto loan, or a student loan. And again, I'm not saying shop for all three if you're shopping for a house, okay? You shop for only the mortgage. Any inquiry on that mortgage for a mortgage loan, no matter who you talk to for the first 14 to 30 days, won't impact your score at all. Won't impact you at all. So we always, in our class, we use the 14-day model because we don't know which lenders or which scoring models they're going to be, if they're using the newer models that go out from 14 to 30 days. But any inquiry in that first 14 days, the words are on your credit report. It's going to show your shopping, but it does not impact your FICO score. Then, after that initial 14 days, now let's say we're on day 15, the scoring model looks at the past 45 days, and they lump all mortgage inquiries in the past 45 days together as just one. So it doesn't hurt us to shop. A lot of people think if they shop, their score's going to dive down. It's going to be impacted as just one. Now, again, we're not suggesting you go out and just willy-nilly just go shopping for the sake of shopping. But if you're shopping for a mortgage, know that it's okay to compare. Because you want to get the best loan for you, because actually, who's paying the bill? You will be. You'll be paying that mortgage every month, so you want to make sure you have the best product available. Sometimes folks that come to our classes, they've already applied for the loan. They've already taken a class somewhere and they're ready to buy. But then something came up, and they did some extra inquiries, or their job changed, or they spent money that the lender thought they would still have to finish the process. Something happened, or the house didn't pass the appraisal process or the inspection process. You'll be talking about that with your lender. But just understand this, that if the deal falls apart, it's not the end of the world. It just wasn't meant to be. That's the attitude I take. My husband and I, we bought our house in 1984. We were renting for 9 years prior to that, and we just weren't ready to settle. Even though we had 3 children, you'd think we'd be ready to settle. But by the time the first one was ready for school, we decided it was time to stop, that we're going to move someday, to realize that we're going to put our roots down where we came from and where we lived. So we bought our home. We looked at one house, only one. The agent tried to convince us to look at others. Nope. I walked into that house and I knew it was mine. then we had to figure out how to get there. Thank goodness my husband was a veteran, and we were able to use his VA loan in the Texas Veteran Land Board. But we had no idea what our credit said. We had no idea, my husband had no idea how I paid the bills. I was the one that took care of, and still am, took care of all of our payments. He had no idea. We were just, holding our breath, hoping that we would qualify for the product. Today, things are different. So back in 2003, now we bought it in 84. So in 2003, when the federal law was passed, the FACT Act, that gave us all the right to see these personal credit reports. You shouldn't have to be worried sitting at the desk of your loan officer, worrying what they're going to say about my credit, because you should already know what your credit says. There's no excuse not to see what your credit says. We're also entitled to our reports for free if we've been denied credit, employment, or insurance in the last 60 days. If we're a victim of fraud. Has anyone in here been a victim of fraud? Oh my gosh, it's terrible, and I'm really sorry you're there. But let me say, as a victim of fraud myself, of check fraud, you think it's finished? Mine started in 2015, and it just raised its head again. It doesn't go away. The key here is, well, I shouldn't say it doesn't. It seems like it doesn't go away. It takes forever to work it through. But again, once you see that credit report, then you're going to know what's there. You can easily dispute the items and be able to explain what's there. Bring all of your explanation information with you when you sit down with that loan officer. Again, this shouldn't be a surprise to you. When you get that credit report back, you'll be able to see the items that's been reported at least the last 7 years. How many are you a junior or senior? How many of you have similar names? We have a set of triplets right now in our Thursday night class, and their mama, not only they have the same birthday, they're triplets, they were actually born on the same day. You say, of course, Sherrie, they're triplets. No, but sometimes you might be born before midnight, and the next one is born after midnight, and maybe the third one, the third day. Wouldn't you hate to be that mom, having to hold that labor that long? But I understand that happens. I've only had one at a time, so that was enough. Anyway, their mama was so cute that when she named their name, she put just one letter apart. So the first name is all the same. One ends in I, one ends in an A, and one ends in an E. So the one sister, the one triplet one of the triplets has pulled her credit report. And she said she can't believe it. Her two other sisters are on her report. And how she knows this is their addresses are there. She's never lived with them, but both of their addresses are on her report. So now the question is, the girls are going to have to come together and have a conversation. Did the other two sisters use this one sister's social? Did she use their information? Or is it just a mistake because they have same zip code, they have similar names, and they have same birth dates? It's easy to clean the report. When you get that report back in the mail, for those of you that have seen your report, all you're going to do is press a button. If it's online, file dispute. You're going to send in a form that they provide you, fill it out, submit your dispute, or you're going to call them on the phone. It is very easy to do. It does not cost you anything to clean it yourself. It's going to take some time for them. They have, through the federal law, up to 45 days, maybe even longer, to do the process. So if you're thinking, I'm going to look at it today and I'm going to apply for my house tomorrow, it may take you 6 months to get things right. Maybe you'll have to do some more than just disputing. Maybe they come back and they say it is yours. And you go, no, it's really not mine. Now you have to take that dispute to the lender or to the creditor. And again, it could take time. So don't just think that, okay, I'll get my credit report and everything will be fine. It might be, but you're going to have to put the time in. We suggest you put the time in, read that report, make sure it's all yours. And then once you get that report, we suggest, again, do not open any new credit until you talk to the lender of your choice, because they're going to give you instructions on what they need to see to qualify for their particular product. So some of the families that come to our class, they may not have been in the credit mainstream for some time. They may have used credit in the past, but then they've decided to use only cash, get away from that credit. They think, well, it's been long, it's been over 4 years, I haven't used any credit, so therefore I should be okay. But if whatever credit was reporting to the credit bureau is old, and if it doesn't show it was paid on time, but yet you paid it off, there's nothing today that shows that you're paying on time, that's showing a history that you're paying on time today. So that's where when you talk to that loan officer, or your loan officers, that they're going to be able to instruct you what they need to see in order to get a more favorable answer towards your yes or no. All right, so LexisNexis Full File Disclosure, please order it. The forms are out on the table. You don't have to be afraid of it. People tell us, I don't want to see it. They always put their hands, I don't want to read it. Can you read it for me? And I said, no, you have to open your own mail, and I want you to go through it. Once you open it, if you order it by mail, then you're going to have all this paper that you're going to be able to walk through, read through, make notes on. When you order the annual creditreport.com report online, you're going to have to print it out, or if you're using your phone, if you can read that little print, then, fine, read it. But how are you going to write notes on it? How many of you have those fancy phones where you can actually write on the screen? You don't have those? Anyway, I don't have one of those. But I see the commercials for them. Don't y'all see those where they pull out the little stylus pen and write on them? Yeah. Does that stay? Does anybody know? Does that stay? It does? Oh, cool. He has one. We can have him give us a class later. All right, so if you order it online, I would suggest, okay, you're going to have to save it and then go back to it printed out, because there's so much information there. Yes, you can read it off a screen, but it's something about still having paper in the hand, where you can make your notes, and then where you can then follow up with your notes. If you order the LexisNexis report, you cannot get an online version of it. You don't order it online. You can send it in. You can send the application in as an email, but they're going to send you back the book. I say book. All these pieces that I read you here, even if there's no data that they find on you, it's going to say that in the report, no data found. So there's many, many, many pages. Again, don't be afraid of the paper. If you, again, see something that's incorrect, don't go, oh my gosh, I've been a victim of fraud. You might not be a victim of fraud. It just may be misinformation because you have a similar name. All right. If you can show, if you can show our like the third or fourth page of our PowerPoint, I'm bringing information about our classes. There we go. So this is our commercial. We will be here at the Antioch Missionary Baptist Church. Our Fundamentals of Good Credit class that meets the education requirement for the local down payment assistance programs. We break it into 4 segments. So it is 4 Saturdays. We spread our class over at least a month, because we're going to give you some homework assignments that I might as well tell you now, so you're not you won't run away after the first class. But we're going to ask you to track your spending for a month. How do you know what you can afford to pay in a mortgage loan if you don't know what it takes to live your financial life? Your lenders are going to qualify you, and we talk about this in our class. They're going to do ratios. They're going to qualify you based on what your credit report, your debt obligations, and your income, however you bring your income in the household. But then we ask one more thing. Okay, just because they say I can afford an $850 a month house payment, does that work in my life? When Bobby and I bought our house, my husband's Bobby, when Bobby Joe and I bought our house in 1984, we went from a $175 rental, can you believe his rentals that low back then, to a $750 house payment. Based on our debt that reported to the credit report and based on both of our incomes, we could afford it. But that's because I knew where to feed the kids every night of the week for free. I knew to go to the Shoney's and the pizza place and the Chinese food restaurant, every place the kids would eat for free. So basically what I'm confessing to you is that we ate out every meal. I knew we went on vacations. We camped. We bought a pop-up trailer and we pulled it and we went camping at least 2 weekends a month. So that took money. It didn't show up on our credit report, but it was our lifestyle. Anything I wanted to buy in cash, I bought because we had the funds. Problem is to change from a $175 rent to a $750 house payment. On paper, it worked. On using our credit and using our ability to what our debt load was, it worked. But our lifestyle, we looked at each other and said, okay, we're going to have to make some changes. We didn't say this, of course, in front of our loan officer. But between the two of us, we knew that in order to do this house, we would have to make some changes. And ultimately we did. We decided that was our priority, was becoming a homeowner instead of renting. Problem was, as soon as we bought our house, we closed on our house the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. The following January 2nd, my husband lost his job. Our first house payment was due January 1st. So we made one house payment knowing that he didn't have work. By then, I'd already quit my job because we didn't need my job anymore because I'm going to be an at-home mom. I don't know what we were thinking. But as it was, we ended up, putting our head down. We worked hard. My husband found a new job. He changed careers. I mean, it worked out for us. But I tell you, for the first 6 months of our not only our marriage, going back for our marriage after we've been married that many years, first 6 months in our house, it was touch and go there. Not necessarily to keep the house, but to keep the marriage. It was tough. So I just say this, when you have financial issues, I don't know if anybody in here is married or you share a household with someone, but sometimes that drives a little wedge. We worked through that. Now, here we are all these years later, we are still in the same house. A lot of folks will say you're going to buy this first house and you're going to buy others in the future. That you might. This might be a stepping stone for you. But otherwise, it might not be. So here we are. Our kids were empty nesters. Our kids are all gone. And now we're around looking at each other going, do we really still want this house? Yeah, we still want this house. So, again, life throws things at us. Our credit report is the basis of the decision making for most loan products. Whether you are buying your home, a car, student loans, you are trying to open up a credit card for the first time, you're trying to open a bank account, whatever your goal is that has to do with finances, that credit report may be the basis of the initial decision making. It's not the only decision maker that they use, but it's the basis of it. So get copies of your personal credit reports. If you do not decide to join us at the Fundamentals of Good Credit class, can you put the second to last slide up? It shows the dates. I only have 1 minute and 28 seconds here, so. All righty. So one more behind it for me. No, backwards. That's me. That's me at the Credit Coalition. I'm trying to get you there. We go. So we meet from 9 to 1. We start October 6th. We skip a week. Then we're back to October 20th. We skip a week. We come to November 3rd. And then the following week will be our last class, November 10th. Yes, these are Saturdays. These are 4 hours each. I know 4 times 4 equals 16. But we'll cover the full 15 hours Fundamentals of Good Credit class during this period of time. It's free. Felicia's asking folks to register. Next page, there you go. You can register by sending your name and email address and phone number to ourfaithwalk@yahoo.com. We will allow open enrollment. You're welcome to walk in if you don't register. But you can bring your children. You can bring friends, families. Is that my 30-second notice there? I still have some time there. Please, as long as you bring, whoever you bring, they allow you and those around you to pay attention. We encourage the whole family. I'm going to try to carry this down to the clock. I'm Sherrie with the Credit Coalition. You can reach me. Through any of the folks here, Felicia or Al or anyone else. So I look forward to meeting everyone, and goodbye.
Hi, my name is Sherrie Young. I am a realtor and community developer here in Beaumont, Texas. For over 10 years, I've assisted hundreds of families achieve their dream of home ownership through specialized seminars. If you've ever had the desire to own your own home but was unsure of the process, don't worry, we got you covered. Come join me and my team on Saturday, September 8th, 2018 from 9 a.m. to 12 noon at Faith Christian Center Church, 6490 Phelan Boulevard in Beaumont, Texas. So text iOWN18 to 54244 to join us for this informative seminar. That's Saturday, September 8th, 2018.